But I'm still on my grind. Before you leave me, then for your hand. Put them like up and over before you lose your mind. My body, I don't know why I be the owner of them body. I be the owner of them body. What tell you the day when I did hustle for my money? To Malaysia, to Miami. I did not for you, if I bí mo ṣe ń pawó ọlọ́run mi làbò mi nígbà tó gbógun olúwa ṣẹ́gun nígbà tó jìnnà olúwa ṣìnà nígbà tó rọ̀ tá mi àdúrà dàbà tà. Everybody, I'm the owner of the if you still doubt me, Google and search, you'll find me. You know the world. And if you're new in the game, you can go to your times. What tell you the day when I am with my money? Yes, so. Woo. Okibo is a nice one. Wow. What's happening? Okay, didn't go live here. Remove 1 minute. Yes. Good evening. 20 what? Sorry. Okay, fantastic. All right. I was just informed that one of our speakers will be here in 20 minutes time. Please don't forget to share. Thank you very much. I agree. Let me quickly share. If you're watching, please share. Let me quickly share. I think so far so good. And I think I need to pin it as well on the top. Yes. Our speakers are not all here, but let's see. Let me share first. Thank you, Khadija. I love the girl. Okay, so what's happening to the other speakers? Let's find out. Oh, okay. Let me call him. Good. Good, 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 good. Good evening. Good evening, Oni. Good evening, Patience. Yeah, good evening, Rita. Yeah, Emmanuel Newt. Good evening, Fabumi. Good evening, Yetunde. And good evening, Mirabel. I think I need to start quickly. Tonight is going to be hot, but most importantly, there'll be a lot of learning. We are going to have a lot of learning tonight. My enemy's hand is moving. Yes, there will be a lot of learning tonight. And we are going to be talking about one of the most controversial topics currently. I think it's like a pandemic in our society. But who are we? As I said, tonight's topic is the side chick and side cock. Yes. Tonight's topic is side chick and side cock. And we have our speakers. A lot of them are on the, I'll show you. A lot of our speakers are on a conference call. They are hungry and they are ready. So the first speaker will be Tony Namani. He's not here, so I will withhold his own profile until probably he arrives. Then we have a speaker on the phone conference call. He is Barrister Tope Akinola. Barrister Tope holds a bachelor's degree in English language and an LLB and BL, a barrister. Yeah. Tope, next time you write it well, Biko. So he has a bachelor's degree in English language and law. He is a barrister and a solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. And Barrister Tope, do you want to say hello to the family members? Unmute and say hello so they will know you are actually here, live and direct.
Hello, everybody. I'm here live and direct.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To be here.
Thank you very much. Yes, you can mute. Remember to be muting if you're not speaking. Yes, our next speaker is Emmanuel Musa. Emmanuel Musa has a lot of degrees as well. He has a BSc, an MCB, MBA, and a master's degree. But on top of it is an academic librarian with the University of Jos. So Emmanuel is also a brand marketer. Emmanuel, do you want to say hello to the family members because they are all saluting you? Emmanuel.
Good evening, all. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. And we have our own IOM Dr. Hope. IOM Dr. Hope is who is she not? She is one of our own. I can see. Who is calling me Roma? So, but Dr. Hope is our IOM speaker, resource person. He's disappeared. So she's always on the show. She works with the minister for women affairs, commissioner for women affairs. So Dr. Hope, do you want to say hello to the house? They know you already. I don't need to continue to introduce you. You are a family member as well. So do you want to say hello to the family?
Good evening in our mind family. In our mind is always in my mind.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, one and only Dr. Hope. So tonight, as I said, we are going to be talking about the side chick and the side cock. But before we start, before we engage our speakers, I will do the needful. The family members always come first. So I want to engage the family. First of all, let us see what the family are saying. Busayo said, good evening, Ma. Good evening, darling. Umario say you are welcome, Dr. Hope. And Bernard say you are welcome, sir. You're welcome, ma. That's Mercy. So they are all welcoming all the speakers. Thank you, family members. Continue to say good evening and welcome our speakers. So before I start, I want to engage the family members as usual. So family, this is for you. I want you to, yes. First thing I want you to do, family members, I want you to paint a picture. Family, can you please paint a picture of a side chick? When you hear the term side chick, what do you think about? Family members, when you hear the term side chick, what do you think about? Rose say Okoto Okoto. Oluwaseun say we love you, ma. I love you too. This right now, I want you to paint a picture of side chick blessing. Chin Talk said this talk show go hot. Can you please paint a picture of side chick Eichmann? You are all welcome. Thank you. So if you hear someone say side chick, what picture comes to mind? Who do you think of? So when you hear a picture, a lady or a woman that follows someone's husband, period. Thank you. So side cock. Yeah. Gogwen say when she hears the term side chick, she thinks of a runs woman. Hotter than pepper. Oh dear me. So when you Favor says when she hears of a side chick, she thinks of a husband snatcher. Chinaza says a mistress, a woman, one who dates in addition to one who dates one's girlfriend or wife, usually in secret. Okay, Tochukwu said a chick by the side. And Gogwen said side chick is a cheater. Chinazam said network free. Chinazam said network free me. So Patience said side chick is a married man. Side chick is a married man having an affair outside marriage, period. That is a side chick. I love you, Patience. Okay, thank you very much. So now I want you to paint a picture of a side cock. You've painted a picture of a side chick. Now, can you please paint a picture of a side cock? Family members, can you please paint a picture of a side cock? Chin talks a married man's concubine. I think he's still talking about a side chick. Now, Omorio said a woman that wants to collect a husband from his wife. Omorio, I love you. Now, can you please, family, paint a picture of a side cock? Okay. Go and say, Go and said a side cock is a he. Go and said a side cock is a he goat. Oh my God. Then Khadija said a married woman having an affair with a married man. I don't know what that is. Okay, she's talking of a side chick. Thank you, Khadija. Christopher said a single or married man having an affair with a married woman. Mirabel say a man. So a side cock, according to Mirabel, is a man dating a married woman. Interesting. That is Chinazam. So Khadija say, okay, it's the same. So, Queen Gracia said a side cock is a sugar daddy. Akata, akata. Ezine said a side cock follow one talk and say today go hot. Okay. Opeyemi say a married man having another extra babe outside. Okay. And me say a married woman's concubine. Fantastic. Let's go to the next. I hope our resource persons are still on the line. Fantastic. They are all here. So let's go to the next question, fams. I want you to be super duper quick. Super duper quick, please. So the next question is men and women who cheat more. Men and women who cheat more. That's the question. So now we are asking you, family, to tell us men and women who cheat more. Okay? A married man, okay? Men. Meat said men. Rich said men. Queen said men. Oni said men. Chinazam says Soma Sugar Daddy, okay? Khadija said men. And Abraham said men. And Bamidele said men. And where is it? Faith said men. Even men say men. Oluwafemi said men. And Chinaza said men cheat more. Love said men. Mirabel said men. Richie said men because they have this sense of superiority. Ziti said men. Oh my God. Patience said men. Kemi said men. Busoyo said men. And Radija said men. Madeline said men. Okay, thank you for that. So the family members have said that men cheat more than women. Now, the question now is, family members, quick, be typing, quick. Do you know a side chick? Family members, do you know any side chick? It's either yes or no. Listen, you see, they're all going men. I didn't even see anyone that says a woman cheats more. All right, so do you know a side chick? Adenike said no. Busayos, Riffy said yes, of course. Jen is still on the men. Princess say yes. Chintok say absolutely yes. He knows a side chick. Zika say yes. And Chinazan say yes. And Obioma, welcome back. Obioma said no, he does not know no side chick. Hassana said no, she doesn't know any side chick. Love said no, I don't. Yes, sorry. And Madeline said yes, I do know a side chick. And Chinazam said yes. And then Chi Nazam again, sorry, say yes, I know like two, period. And Love say yes. Khadija say yes. And then Christopher said yes. All right. So now, quick. Now I want to ask you, why do men cheat? Family members, quick. We have no time to waste time. Why do men cheat? The question now is, why do men cheat? Mirabel say, I know like plenty side chicks. Ezine say, men feel is their right. Imagine cheating and claiming right on top of it. I want to repeat. Ezine say, men feel is their right to cheat. Can you imagine a man is cheating and claiming right on top of cheating? Only say lack of contentment. Only supple. Only say lack of contentment make men cheat. Oluwafemi, who is a man himself, say lack of satisfaction from their wife. Period. Chinaza said men who don't have self-control. Okoto, Okoto. Chinazam said men cheat because of lack of self-control. Khadija said greedy. Khadija said greediness and lack of contentment. Simple. Chinazam said they think they are entitled. The entitlement spirit make them think they can cheat with as many women as possible. Okota, Vera say cheating is in their blood. Madeline say sometimes their wives make them cheat, and sometimes it's lack of understanding. Faith said, men come and Faith said, men come and say why you cheat. Busayo said they cheat because their women is not good enough. So they married a not good enough wife. So they have to cheat, period. Nancy said they feel it's their right to cheat. Chin Talk say men cheat because of lack of contentment. Okoto. And Hassan said because they want to. Hassan said because men want to change soup. Hey, Okoto. And Mirabel said I feel men cheat because they are not satisfied with what they have. Oh, Okoto. Now let's go to the next. Now, do women, the next question now is, do women accept their husbands to have a side chick? Do married women or women in a very tight relationship or women that are engaged to be married, do they allow or accept their husband and say, okay, you can have side chick, no problem. No problem, you can have side chick. Do women allow their husband or accept their husband to have side chick? Khadija said, never. Isn't they say no, and no? Okay, Aminat is still defining. The question now is, do women accept that their husband should have a side chick? And then they can say, no. Princess said, no. And Jane said, like, Jane is still on top of the man. Patient said, it's not it, Mama. Amma says, some accept. Amma, what about you? The Lord also said, no, nehi, Baba, nehi kia. I'm speaking French. I'm speaking Indian. Christiana said, lack of control. She's still defining. Now we are asking no, and no according to love. Madeline said no. And a man said, no, women are full of jealousy. And I don't know what, Oluwafemi, I would like you to tell me what you mean by that, full of jealousy. As if, explain more. You say no, women are full of jealousy. That means it's supposed to be, but because of jealousy, they don't want. He had a easy. So Christopher said, if I catch him, heaven will fall down. Emotion don't enter him. I'ma say, me, wetin concern me? If you carry any sickness, carry am for your body. But come on, don't you have intercourse with your husband? So he's not carrying it in anybody. He's coming and exchanging. Chinazan said, capital no. No responsible woman we allow that. And Chika said no. Okay, let's enter another question. And the last one we ask is, do women accept? Now, do you know a side cock? Now, the next question, family, Family, we are not asking you, do you know a side cock? Do you know a man that is a side cock to a woman? Chichi, Achonu is laughing. Oluwafemi said yes. Christiana said men are selfish. We said psycho plenty. Okay. Richie said plenty. The question is, do you know a side cock? Ezine said, men can't take half of what they dish out. Men can kill. Aisha Bala said, good evening, family members. Aisha Bala, you are late. Who else? Nofisat in our man finder said yes, she knows the side cock. Jane said yes, there are plenty. Madeline said yes, man. There are plenty in my environment, and they are not afraid of the woman's husband. Period. We died here. Lord say side cock full grand. Abraham said yes, yes, and yes. Now, thank you very much. Now, the question, our speakers, apologies. I have to engage the family members. They are the reason we are here. Okay, so you say you know a side cock. My question now is, why do women cheat? I repeat, why do women cheat? do maybe say they plenty for my street? So Mirobe say, I don't know why women cheat. Okoto. Yes, so they're full here. Oh gosh. Now, why do women cheat? And Seaman said, women are the ones attempting women. I don't know what that means. To fall in to all the side chick because they can't content. They are not contented with their husband. Seaman said, women are the ones that want men because they are not contented with their husband. Khadija said, women cheat as a result of lack of attention, love, and care from husband. Vera said, women cheat because of material things. Ezine said, honestly, there is no justification and reason to cheat. It's just a choice. Simple. Chinaza said, lack of self-control too. That the same thing that men cheat is the same thing that women cheat. Wow. Madeline said, women cheat because they lack something from their husband. Eichmann said, because of money, money. Kawo kudi. Yes. So, Yomi, I don't know if this is our new Yomi, said because of lack of maturity and not contentment. Okay. And Christopher says some lack of satisfaction where they lack from home, from their partner. That's why they tend to get it elsewhere. Now, another question I want to ask is, I say, why do women cheat? Now, do men accept their wives to have a side cock? Do men, just like we asked, this hair, stop entering my mouth. Do men accept that their wives can have a side cock? I say no. Lo said, okay, she's still saying why men cheat. Busayo say nope. We say Okoto. Amina said men. So the question is, do men accept their wives to have a side cock? Jane said no. Riffy said no. And don't know. Khadija say maybe men will accept in the next life, but not this life. Chika say, for where? No. In our mind founder say never. They're not agree, they're not agree for anybody. And yeah, Capitan no. And Mirabel say not at all. So that is the end of the interactive session. I'm so happy. So we have to go to our speakers. As I said, we have some, we are still waiting for Tony Namale. So, speakers, thank you guys for waiting. Apologies for keeping you for long. We need to engage with our family members. That's the reason we are here. I want to start with you, Barrister Tope. Barrister Tope, my question to you regarding side chick and side cock is, are you married, Barrister Tope? Are you married?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So, Barrister Tope, thank you for that. The next question I want to ask you is, looking at what family members say, they say men cheat, men cheat, men cheat, and men cheat. Do you have a side chick, Barrister Tope?
I do not.
You don't have a side chick. And I want to ask you, why do you not have a side chick?
Well, I think it's if you have comfort with the person you're with. If the person you're with is the person of your dream, I don't think it's necessary that you step out, because then if you step out, you then destroy that which you already have.
Wow.
At what?
Wow. Family, I think you're saying the same thing with the family to end up, Barrister Tope. Family members are talking about lack of satisfaction, lack of this, lack of that. And you just said if you're contented, you didn't use the term contented, but you say if you're happy with what you have, there is no need to step out. Otherwise, it's going to bring about a destruction. Because I see people say, no, never out there. You understand? So thank you for that. I'll come back to you again. Emmanuel, if you mute, that would be good. Emmanuel, do you want to answer the question whether you're married? And if you're married, do you have a side chick? Or do you know anyone with a side chick? Emmanuel, you're muted. You can mute, Barrister Tope.
Good evening. I'm Emmanuel. Once again, I am married, 2 kids.
Wow.
I don't have a side chick, at least not yet.
No, at least not yet. So can you tell me why you said at least not yet, Emmanuel?
Yes. You know, in marriage is a beautiful thing. Marriage is also a difficult one. Sometimes you have a disagreement. Sometimes it goes beyond the type of disagreement you imagine. And sometimes you just feel like, this woman is taking me for granted because she knows I'm committed to her so well. So sometimes you just want to have a feel, but in another thought, you go against it because of so many reasons.
So can you give me one of the reasons why you think men or women, but let's focus on men since you're a man. When we come to Madam Hope, we can find out from her. Why do you think men have a side chick?
Well, men have side chicks. It is relative. Then, but for those who do have, for men who have a side chick, they may have so many reasons. Maybe one, maybe two, maybe more. Now, some of them that I think, just as we heard from the family said some things which are in tune with my own perception of the reasons why men have side chicks. Now, some men just do it not because they have issues with their wife or they are not satisfied with their home, or I think let me before I continue with that, we should know that the game of side chick is not limited or is not synonymous to married people. I think the side chick is, yes, it's not synonymous to married people. Because me, I can simply say side chick is a kind of an idea or a relationship that is involved in by individuals who feel, who give commitment to one another. They decide to commit to one another. And now the partner could be either a marriage partner or a partner who has decided to agree to be in a long-term relationship with an existing partner.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, there are married people who have side chicks. There are also single people, perhaps maybe they are fiancé, there is a special woman in their life that they hope to get married to, and they are yet to do that, yet they still have a side chick.
Yeah. So you, yeah. Hello?
You wanted to say something?
No,
Yes.
that's fine. That's fine. Let me go to Madam Hope quickly. Madam Hope.
Okay.
Madam Hope.
Here.
I want to ask you, are you married? And if yes or no, do you have a committed relationship? If yes or no, do you know anyone that is married and cheats?
Okay. I'm not married yet, and I'm not in any relationship yet, but I know that I have a lot of people around me who have side chick. And there is one scenario, a case that I just, apart from the ones we handle in the office, just in my community, I know of a man who has a wife and children, and I know he has another woman. He has rented an apartment somewhere, and he's also keeping that one.
Okay, now I think I should have asked you of the woman. Do you know of any woman that have a side cock?
A side cock.
A woman that
You
has
know, when yes, if I know somebody who has a side chick, that means there is also a cock, because where there is a chick, there is a cock. So yes,
I like that.
where there is, if I know of the one that has a side chick, that means I already know of the one that has a side cock.
I agree.
So it takes the cock and the chick to
Can I ask you,
give us what we are looking for.
Can I ask you, Madam Hope? I think everybody here,
Yeah.
they are all decent people. Wow. Can I ask you, why do you think women cheat on their husband or long-time fiancé partners?
Okay. To be honest with, it's not actually an issue of justification. But I want you to know that if you have like 10 side chicks and 10 side cocks, you will know that out of these 10, maybe it might at most might be only a woman who might have made the advance to get the cock. Most of the time, the chicks are there, maybe actually there without thinking of cheating or having a cock somewhere. But the cock who had seen it that they are hunters, they want to conquer, how many women they were able to conquer, and because they are wired to do so from all that we have been told here before. So they might have sometimes take advantage of some vulnerable situation or some greed nature of a woman or even out of pestering and pressure, and somehow, if a woman who is not able to stand firm in her decision might end up giving up and finally start cheating. And just like some of them had said, sometimes it might be as a result that maybe the husband had already had a side chick somewhere and is now giving attention to the side chick, abandoning her and his responsibility. Even sometimes, maybe after satisfying the side chick, comes home and is not interested in the woman's conjugal need and rights. He might also use it as he is the one that can decide. Women, they don't have rights to their sexual desires and satisfaction. Is when the man wants it. So the man may come back and is not interested in satisfying her own sexual desires. And if this man continues to starve her and also denying her some family necessities, and sometimes he might even be a friend of the husband or people close who knew what the man is doing. They might want to take advantage of that. At that point, the woman is vulnerable, and they might decide to fill in the gap, that gap that is already existing. And the woman can easily, maybe, who has not made up her mind to whatever come rain, come shine, that they will not give up. You will now find out at the end that they might succumb and become a side chick, just to do what? To also maybe get back to the man, or also to meet up with their own needs and desires. These are some of the things that might make them to cheat on their side cock.
Madam Hope, thank you for your response. You can mute. So I want to come to you, Barrister Tope, Madam Hope. I asked you if you know why. I think it's Emmanuel. I asked whether he knows, since both of you are decent enough not to want to have side chick because you're very happy in your relationship. Emmanuel said he knows some that men have, and then the reason he gave why some men do have. And I asked Madam Hope. She said the reason why women have side cock is too much pressure. A lot of pressure from the cock themselves, and sometimes they take advantage of the woman's vulnerability. And she also said that the reason why women have side cock is because the man deny her of sex, badly deny her of sex. That where she said a lot of things, and she said I didn't even. She said in some cases it's due to retaliation because this man has side chick, and the woman is like, you think you are the only one that can. Is not what she said, but she said then because of lot of pressure, vulnerability, lack of satisfaction from the husband because he has a side chick, and also because she now wants to retaliate. You have side chick, I get side cock. What do you have to say about that? That women don't normally we like to have, but because of you men and your behaviors in the marriage, that is why they do. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I want to say that as much as I agree with her position, I want to say our position does not cover everything.
Can you speak louder? Can you speak louder, please?
Our position does not cover everything. It's actually a simplistic approach to social issue of that nature. Yeah, I think we are presuming to say that basically the reason why women cheat is because most times they do it because men cheat. While that may be true, but that is not the complete reality. There are women who, for example, cheat because they have higher libido than the man, such that it becomes very difficult for the man to keep up with their sexual demand and sexual urge. And when that urge becomes too much, what do? They step out. That is one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that sometimes too, because of a woman's numerous sexual experiences before she settles down, she might then become, she wants to continue to explore. So the desire for a man to explore is also equal to a woman's desire to explore. The only stumbling block for that of a woman is society, because culturally, society tends to not frown at a man's cheating, the African society. Not that it is good, not that I justify it. But on the other hand, society tends to stigmatize a woman who cheats. You see people trying to say, well, she is wayward, she is this, she is that, she is this. But a man carries it as a medal, something he can be proud of. So while a woman will rather just cheat and hide and cover it and ensure that even her best friend does not know, a man flaunts it. So you are likely to say the woman is doing it in retaliation for the man. Second, another aspect of it that I think we did not touch on very well is finance. Some women go through a lot financially because sometimes they marry irresponsible men, or they too do not have what they do that will bring money. So because of economic pressures, they go ahead to cheat, even when they do not wish to cheat. Now, there was something you said while you were addressing myself and the other brother.
Emmanuel.
You said, since Emmanuel, yes, you said, since we were decent enough not to have. I want to say that my understanding of society, my understanding of the various nuances of human behavior, I do not believe that people who have side chicks are necessarily indecent, and that people who do not have side chicks are then decent. Decency, as it were, is a compound word that carries so many meanings. People are pushed out. We have men who are pushed out by the character of the woman. You have women who are pushed out by the character of the man. Sometimes the last result is, I don't want to leave this marriage because of my children. Okay, the least I can do now is have a side chick or have a side cock. As much as we might want to moralize the argument, I think marriages, relationships, by their very nature, are peculiar, and you cannot have one reason to cover for why people do what they do.
Fantastic.
Two, you cannot have one solution to every, especially infidelity in a marriage. It is usually very simple to just say, this woman cheated on me, and then you begin to rage. You are angry, you want to fight, you want to divorce. Have you stopped to consider the causative effects, the things that led to that? When you guys said your marriage vows, how was it? 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line, how is it now? What are those things that have taken place? What are the things that you have neglected from your partner? What has he neglected? What has she neglected that has led you guys to where you are? Sometimes cheating and all of that, it's more like a symptom of a much deeper problem. More like a symptom of a manifestation of a much deeper problem. So when you now approach a situation and then what you are looking at is just the symptoms are not the problem. And
Fantastic.
That is why you see that.
I would like you to hold it there. Symptoms, not problems. Hold it there.
Yeah.
Write it down. We'll talk about it. I will come back to
Now,
you. Yeah?
Now you see that in advanced societies, when couples have problems, what they usually do is that they now say, go meet a therapist. The both of you should book a therapist and then begin to, and when you look at these therapy sessions, you see what you find. You see conversations, honest conversations, trying to get into the root of why they do what they do to each other.
Symptoms, not problem. I want you to hold it there. Counseling to resolve issues in advanced society. Hold it there. I'll come back to you. Yeah? I'll come back to you. You've spoken a lot and you've spoken well. Emmanuel, I want to come to you. You can mute, my dear. Thank you very much, Barrister. Emmanuel, I'm coming to you. The barrister has spoken well. He said we should look underneath the causes of cheating. He said it's not about decency or indecency. And thank you for calling me out on that, Barrister Tobe. The decency is not a general decency. I was using it in terms of decent not having coke, decent having coke. But I withdraw my the word decent enough, since you want to say that sometimes there could be an underlying factors as to why people cheat. I want to ask you, Emmanuel, he's really spoken well. He talked about women with higher libido, desire to explore society, frowning at women, therefore they can hide. That does not mean they are not doing it. And he talked about a whole other things, looking into the causes. But before we look into a remedy to remedy the issue about side chicks or side cock, I want to ask you a straightforward question, Emmanuel. Do you think any reason is enough for a man or a woman to have a side chick or a side cock? Do you think if there is an issue, go get a side chick? Do you think is enough reason to justify having a side chick in a marriage or a side cock in a marriage?
All right. Yeah. Well, there is no justification for me. But this justification is also relative per individual. My emotional control will not be the same.
Sorry. Speak. Yeah. Take it easy. I want you to start from the beginning again, please.
Okay. Yeah. I said there is no justification for me, for a reason for anyone to have a side chick. But again, it is a relative issue. Now, what I can take will not be what you can take. What I can control will not be what the others can control. Yes, we all have self-control and self-discipline, which should come. Now, when issues like Barrister was saying, and the other sister, they made mention of reasons. When you talk of people, and I said the same thing. I said there are some persons that have actually no justifiable reason. But there are some persons who may give you a reason, and we are saying it is not justifiable for any reason, but we may find out that there are some few reasons that may be justifiable that you may pardon the person for deciding to have a side chick. Now, some reasons like novelty, some persons just do it for the novelty's sake, for an excitement sake. They just want the excitement. They just want to be there. Some persons are doing it because of pair. No, their pair, their friends are doing it. They've been introduced to it. Oh, guys, we are fun, what's your problem? Come and do it. Are you a father, reverend father? Things like that. The kind of people you roll with, they can introduce you into it, and before you know, you get used to it. Then, emotional and physical fulfillment. When you are in a marriage, that emotional fulfillment is not there. You see that physical touch, that communication between you and your partner, when it's cut off, you want to begin to look for a way to find it and feel it again the way your partner. Perhaps maybe they are not able to resolve. Maybe before that resolution, and the barrister talked about therapy. So most times before the issue of therapy comes, the matter may either have already been escalated beyond the confine of the relationship of the two persons that are involved in the primary relationship. That has now gotten one of them or both of them to have a secondary relationship, which is either the side cheating or the side cock. Now, before then, if you are able to control and bring back this physical feeling and this emotional fulfillment in your house, in your relationship, you may never see a reason why you should go out there. But if you are not able to get that back, it could force some persons to want to take solace. One of my lecturers in the university used to say, it's like taking an alcohol. You have a problem for us men who take alcohol. You say, but for some persons who've not taken alcohol before, they have this devastating situation. And somebody will be like, guy, go and high up and you'll be fine. And this man, Mr. Munko will say it is a psychosuppressive agent. The alcohol is a psychosuppressive. It's not your problem for that moment. And once the effect is clear, it brings you back to your reality. You come back to it. It is the same way. When you get a side chick, you are getting a side chick because you want to fulfill or get back at your partner, a kind of retaliation, as she said, or because of the pressure you are feeling. Okay, let me go outside to be better. You could go outside and you never get it better. You will go outside because of why? Maybe your guilt, your conscience, because it is not your kind of person. Now, it will bring you back. When you come back home, you will begin to feel this indifference in you because you are guilty. Maybe sometimes that way.
I think network. Okay. Whilst Emmanuel is trying to connect, these guys are super.
But most times there are no reasons.
Most times there are no reasons.
We may not see it in their own perception. But until you
continue.
In a nutshell, there are no justification for it.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. You can mute Emmanuel. Madam Hope, you one thing I like you about is because you hit the nail on the head. Boom. You don't mince words, and you are no respecter of persons. You said your own point of view, I must say, and it sounds a kind of how will I say harsh, but is your own honest opinion. My question to you now is that I'm shocked. You know, when I said this sentence off, it's because I was shocked that the two gentlemen here, because if you look at the family members write up, oh, all men are this is in their blood, is in their this is they claim is good, they do it, and they do it. And I asked these two gentlemen, they said they don't do it. I use the term decent because I was honestly shocked. Not that they should do it anyway, and not that they have to do it. It's just because from what the family members said, all men, and they said absolutely not, and I believe them. I was shocked. My question to you, Madam Hope, is this.
Yes.
First of all, let me point out, a number of them, they said because of financial gain, women or men want to cheat. Emotional void. I'm just summarizing what they said. Because of emotional void, women or men want to cheat. Because of peer influence, women or men, I think that we are talking more of the man because they are men, want to cheat. And because of excitement in it as well. You see them wanting to cheat, but both of them said, or rather Emmanuel, who I asked the question, said there is no justification, no matter the reasons it's given as to why they want to cheat. Madam Hope, I'm surprised because Side chick and or you can mute because I want to make a statement. Side chick and or side cock is not just like cancer because cancer is slow in developing. It's like a virus, like coronavirus that has spread across. Is so much widespread that you can say is a pandemic. Side chick is like a pandemic in the society. Any nook and corner, like the family members are saying, they fool my street. They are all over the place. My area get them full. They're plenty everywhere, everywhere and everywhere. So I can say that side chick and side coke is like a pandemic everywhere you go. And yet they say no justification. And yet it is definitely done. Do you think that that women have come to accept side chick rather than divorce? Because I know a number of women will say, "Oh, God hates divorce. Oh, you should not divorce. Oh, don't divorce." And yet they say, "I can never accept side chick. Side chick is not acceptable. It is wrong. It's not going to be done. I won't accept it." If I ask you, do you think a lot of women are happy to accept side chick rather than go into a divorce? Or do you think that they will not accept side chick and they will also not divorce? What do you have to say about that?
Before I will be able to answer that, there is something that be said that I want to re-emphasize, and the truth remains that this side chick of a thing has a lot of, most of the problem in the marriage is actually as a result of this. Is sometimes there was never a problem in a marriage. Like if you remember the words I've used earlier, because we have said it over and over again in this platform, where, and my brother also re-echoed it, where he said the society. I said the men, they felt they are hunters. They want to conquer. How many they were able to conquer? So they pride in it. They pride in it and they use it to influence, and the society is acceptable to the society. And all these things is even when they are grooming their sons, the families, they will know that their son will bring in a young lady in today. Tomorrow he brings another one. But they were like, he's a man, he's free, he can do whatever he wants to do. And because this has been a habit, they have developed even before they married. Just like when whether it's the imam or lawyer that our barrister was talking about, that it must not necessarily be a married man, that sometimes they have a fiancé, they have somebody they have committed, sometimes they might even be a living partner, but there was no legal marriage. You still see them, they are still going outside that relationship. So this is a habit, they have seen it as their right, they are free, they can go, they can engage as much women as they want, the society approves of it. But you as a woman, you are trained and brought up to know that you are meant to be just for your husband, which I believe that if the same way, I thank God we have discussed our boy child, girl child, training up a boy child, giving them equal opportunity training and everything. You see that this same thing can still be corrected from the grooming, from the training of our young men, that's the boys as they are growing up, because they are watching, they are seeing, they are hearing, their peers are influencing them. So if the society had not really given them that is their right, they can do, nobody questions. That's why even in a marriage, when a woman caught the husband cheating, even right on their matrimonial bed, is still the same woman who caught the husband that will still be sent packing.
Oh dear.
She will still be sent packing to go back to, send her back to her father's house. How dare her open her mouth to say that she caught her husband cheating? The same, if it's the same woman that is being just accused, not even being caught on the act, just that she's been accused, she will still be sent packing again. You see, this whole thing, the root cause, it is the societal value. We have lost the moral. You know, my brother was saying something, he mentioned the moral ground. There's no justification, but the society justifies it. There's no moral ground, no moral justification. We have lost the moral values. Though that value, this thing has been there from beginning. It's part of the packages that followed. As once you are born a male child, you are entitled to every right. But a female child is a different thing. So the training of a male child and a female child is different. And this is why when they get married, they cannot just stop because I'm not married to a woman. What about all those girls I was enjoying freely, sampling and, discarding, and they will continue. It's a habit. Practice makes perfect. It's a habit they have developed over time. So even when they had married a good wife who satisfies them, who is not bringing pressure, who is not causing them any harm, because of that habit they had already developed, formed, they still want to go out. And when they go out, it comes back with a lot of baggages. It can come in with infection. And when the woman now find out that having related with the husband the way she's supposed to, and she started she's been infected, issues will come up. Issues will come up because if the husband is maintaining with her, where is the infection coming? Now, that's number one problem. Number two problem is that if the man, looking at the straining economic situation we have, what the man has, he will start sharing it outside because you can't keep a side chick outside without maintenance. So he will start cutting his responsibility. He may start starving the woman at home. He may start, because there was a side chick outside. And all this thing now will bring in problem into when the woman begin to ask him for money for food, the care and support of the children. The child is sick. He cannot bring money, but he can go and give it outside to the side chick. So you find out it will introduce the problem now that when that problem comes in, it now leads to all the escalated problem we are talking about, which was never there if side chick was not introduced. So this is one thing I actually wanted to talk about before we go back to the question you asked. And I must confess, I've lost track of the question you asked me. I don't mind if you can remind me.
I was asking, but that question I might hold it because I like what you said. I might hold it for now. We can have part 2 of the side chick for that question.
Please. Okay, go ahead.
I like what you said. I want to throw it back to the guys, if you don't mind. Your speech is sweet. A lot of family members are saying yes, correct. Wow, So mute. Let me go back to Barrister. Barrister, you were talking about symptoms and not symptoms, not problem. You were talking about trying to get a therapy, how is done here abroad. But I want us to pause on that because we'll talk about solution later. Madam Hope has said a lot. Madam Hope has said a lot. Part of what she said is also what every one of you are saying. I think you all had a meeting behind my back because I came to you guys will be going back and forth, but you are almost like agreeing with each and what you guys are saying. You all, especially Madam Hope, re-emphasize on societal values. She talked about the training of a child. She talked about man and woman having different upbringing. She talked about double standard in the training of a male and a female child. She talked, and one of you also said the society condones and accepts, I think it's yourself, when a man cheats on a woman. In fact, I met a guy who, when we were talking about this topic, he said to me, when a guy sleeps with a lot of women, he's a player. He's praised and hailed as a player. However, when a woman does one and exactly the same thing he does, the woman will be called a whore. I repeat, Tope. A guy said to me, the society is so unfair. It's a guy that said to me, the society is so unfair, double standard, that the so-called equality that is being preached that women are now having is still not there yet. Now, when a man sleeps with a lot of women, he's hailed and praised as a player. Oh, you're a player. When a woman does one and the same thing with a man, she is called a whore. My question to you, the barrister Tope, do you think the society is fair on the woman just like the man? Because some of us that quote the Bible, they will tell you that when the Mary Magdalene was caught committing adultery, she was brought to be stoned to death. She was caught committing adultery. She's single, I believe, or they didn't tell us of her marriage because they labeled her a prostitute. And they called it adultery, meaning the man may be married. But she was brought to be stoned to death. She committed adultery, meaning it's two, but one was to be sentenced by death. The man was not there. Do you think that this double standard being placed on the woman, making her lower, and anything she does is not acceptable if the man does the same thing? Do you think it's good? If not, what do you think will be done about it? If yes, why do you think it's good?
Well, I think it's not good, but it is what it is. Now, the reason why I said it's not good is because, of course, if we all clamor for equity, my conversation is always around equity and not equality. Me, I believe that equity will tell you to get what you deserve. For equity, everybody will not get everything. Everybody will get what everybody deserves. Now, the equity of the whole thing is that a man should be placed on the same pedestal as a woman. But both historically and religiously, that is not the case. If you check through, since you've referenced the Bible, now that particular story that you reference is very instructive. Instructive in the sense that you would ordinarily expect that the man and the woman should be stoned to death for adultery because, of course, you cannot commit adultery alone. But then, before the intervention of Jesus Christ, that must have been the practice. Always, the society always stones the woman to death. That's not fair. But then, religion, the true Abrahamic religion this time around, is at the act of the subjugation of women. I've always said it. If you go and look through the wave of feminism that swept through America, that has become a thing, it started from people beginning to question the basics of the role of women vis-a-vis religion and religious texts. Is it not funny that in ancient Egypt, in ancient Israel, when they do population census, women are not counted? Now, not that alone. If you go and look through your Bible, you see conflicting interpretation of the roles of women in the church. You will see Apostle Paul saying they should not speak and they should only listen to their husband. And then you will see another place in the Bible where it says that we are, all of us are sons and daughters of God and royal priesthood, and therefore we are entitled to air our opinion and live the way we like. So if you now look at that and you now bring it to our modern society and you bring it to our African culture, you will see that even the Western religion, the Christian religion and the Islamic religion this time around, did not bring anything that is different in a way to what our forefathers were practicing vis-a-vis the role of women. I dare say, however, sir, that for example, in the African culture, there is no way in the African culture that mandates a woman to change her name to that of her husband upon marriage. It was a Western culture. So these things are unfair to women. The same way colonialism, slavery was unfair to the African people. Now, if, like you said while we had our conversation, the African man was able to fight off the idea that we are lesser human beings to be fight. Then I also believe that this conversation around equality for women is something that we should take seriously. So I will say again that it is not fair, the double standard that society gives to women. Now, you asked as a follow-up question that what can be done. Everything boils down to the woman. I want to use woman as a generic term to mean every female in the world. It starts, first of all, from financial emancipation. These are necessary conversations that women must have. If they are not willing or ready to have these conversations, we'll be dancing around the solutions and we will never get it. My friend will say that money stops all nonsense. What it means is not that once you have your own money, you begin to disrespect your husband. No. It means that once you are economically emancipated, you now determine what nonsense you can take from anybody. So a woman, for example, knows she deserves better than she currently gets, whether socially or emotionally or maritally. But our economic situation is such that she cannot make a stand. But if she's emancipated economically, for example, she works, she makes her own money, what happens is that she is then respected by society, by the husband, by even male colleagues in the office, because they know that she's not a hanger-on. Secondly, we're talking about side chicks, side hen. I know we all understand that the phenomenon is riskier for women. That's the reality. These are one of the things that when we discuss gender, we also have to touch on that. It is riskier for women. One, it is riskier even for the side chick that is out there. For example, you might get pregnant as a side chick and then the man denies you and then you become a single mother of a fatherless child. That is that risk. There is the other risk. That's the stigmatization from the society. That is what, even for a woman that decides she wants to have a side hen, she is also who can, for example, she is also the one who can then get pregnant by somebody out there and pin it on the man. and if it is discovered, what do you have? You have social stigma, you have the family being destroyed. So it is neither here nor there. So a woman who wants to be protected must first of all protect herself. Gone are the days when women don't go to school. Women learn skills, they go to schools. So you must then make yourself a catch. If you are a catch, if you are a woman and you are a catch, there are some nonsense that will not come to you because the person understands that you will not take it. Because socially, socioculturally, gender roles are shifting. Do you know why gender roles are shifting? Because economic scale is shifting. In the past, the woman sits home, makes baby, cooks, and all that. Today, women are CEOs. It means that gender roles are shifting because economic roles are shifting. So if you want to solve that problem, you must first of all economically empower women.
Thank you very much. I want us to say, pause it here. Pause it, my sweetheart. I love you.
I wanted to say something.
Okay, Madam Hope. You can mute the barrister. Madam Hope talk. I'm looking at the time and I'm so happy. I don't even want this
just a
topic
quick
to
one. Just a quick one. I totally agree with what Barrister had said. But there is something I also want to bring an aspect of in terms of women empowerment.
Fantastic.
We have
that was where I wanted to go to. Continue.
Yeah, I speak from field experience, and we've come to know that because men is afraid that if they allow a woman to have the education, to have the financial independence, that they will no longer lord it and control them at their own way. A lot of issues, marriage issues we are having also is around this. I have also talked about the research that was carried around the nexus between women economic empowerment and gender-based violence. But before without talking about that and the findings of the research, I just want to talk about the practical experience of incidences, issues that we have witnessed. I can tell you of 3 practical issues we have handled. One, a woman who has a master's degree was working, living comfortably, working in a good company. This man married her and stopped her from continuing with that work. And the societal and the mentality that when a marriage is not working is the fault of a woman. And this woman wants to keep her marriage, to be the obedient woman. She did not continue with the job. Yet this man will not meet to her need. She tried again getting another job. He stopped her. That is, this woman got pregnant. This man abandoned her and her pregnancy. One. The second one again, this lady already had an admission to do her master's in Canada. This man came around. She told him, this is it. He said, no problem. That wouldn't stop. He was even planning that there may be, after marriage, 2 of them can move down to Canada. And when it was after the marriage, within that period, they just got married. The woman, her mission, she was to go for the interview at the embassy and all those stuff. This man refused her and told her to, sort of defer the admission. Before you know it, he said she's not going anywhere anymore. It did not just end there. This woman tried getting a job within Nigeria to work so that this man refused her. Before you know it, this man had to travel out of the country, refused this woman doing anything or working, and left her with her parents. And no financial support. This is a graduate. This is somebody that has her life, her ambitions, her destiny to fulfill, that the husband's supposed to complement. He now, because she got married, her life was put at a stop. Now, recently again, the very last one again, this same woman got admission again. The man promised her that when she will go to school, before you know it again, no school anymore. Why am I bringing some of this practical is to show you that men feels that if a woman is allowed to break free from this economic impoverishment that even our forefathers introduced by the from I'm an Igbo woman. I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm an Igbo woman, and as a female child, you are not entitled to inherit your father. They start with that to impoverish women that their brothers have an age over them. No matter how you struggle and do everything, now they want to maintain that a woman is still under their control. They can decide when to give you money for food. They can decide when to give you money for your sanitary towel. They can decide whether you will go to hospital or not. They can decide if you give birth to a baby girl, they can afford to abandon you in the hospital without coming to pay your hospital bill. See, these are a lot of things women are going through because of all the mentality that is a man's world. I'm sorry I have to say this, but that is the truth. And they will not want any woman to be. They feel that if a woman now is economically independent, not that they will disrespect them, but they don't want them to decide on what they want to do on their own, except they say otherwise. They want to control them. They want to decide everything around that woman so that you always depend on them. But just like you already said, if a woman is empowered, there are some certain things she can do without waiting for that man. That's why if a woman is economically empowered and the man decides to have a side chick and do whatever, she might decide to step out of that marriage, maintain and live her life without even going into any relationship, or she can go on with her life, pursue her career, train her children, and move on with her life without even going into messing up with whether looking for a side cock or whatever. Let me hold it here. Thank you.
Thank you. Because I was switching, I switched off from what you're saying. I cannot, my ear is very selective of things it hears because
I want to actually say something.
I wanted okay.
I think although what she said is very correct, but there is another aspect of this conversation about the society vis-a-vis our relation to men too, that we are attempting to glide over. Now, a woman would more often than not cry out. For example, 9 out of the 10 times that you hear domestic violence is usually a woman that is the victim. But then there are more men being beaten by their wife than women, because the society says a man is not supposed to cry. That is why we have more suicide for men than women. So when we have conversations around issues like this, we balance it by looking at the man too. There are men too who are in a marriage where the wife cheats openly, and then he cannot do anything for whatever reason. So it's usually not cast in stone. The idea, the capacity to be cruel is a human capacity. However evil, it is not limited to any gender. Of course, we're having this conversation because societally we have more women, as it were, than men. But men too cry. Most of them cannot even cry out. They cannot tell their first friend that their wife, they beat them for house. What mark? You will see the mark. They will tell you they fell from a tree or fell somewhere. A woman can, of course, tell anybody, say, but Papa did not beat me. How do you tell your friend that Mama did not beat you? So these are also conversations that we must also balance. Now, this issue of there is also some things that I think a woman should be able to also do. a woman must have the courage to stand her ground. It is difficult, but it's something that should be done. I don't think any sane man should stop his wife or his intending wife from working. If you see that kind of thing, it's actually a narcissist behavior. I tell people, no matter how sweet you think a man is, once he says that you cannot work, you cannot work, even if it's a billionaire, he should open shop for you so that you can wake up and be going there. Once he says don't work, it's actually a subtle attempt to control you, to make you wholly dependent on him. In other words, he can pull the plug on your life at any time. So if a woman has a degree and you are going into a relationship, you don't just go with your heart, you go with your head. Don't be how today be, tomorrow will be. So these are necessary things. And I must say that, like the last speaker said, it took some women to pursue that what is it called, that thing to the Supreme Court. That evil custom that says a woman, a girl cannot inherit his father's property, his brother will inherit it. It's no longer legal in Nigeria because some women woke up and said they were tired of it and approached the court and got judgment up to the Supreme Court. The question now is, if it happens to another woman, does she have the moral fiber? Is she ready to fight? Can she go and explore what is available for her in the court to get judgment? Some women did it. Can she do it? So these are the things that, because I don't want to believe that a woman is a weaker vessel. So if a woman is not a weak vessel, then she should be able to stand her ground sometimes. You don't have to fight. You don't have to be confrontational. No. Be firm while you are being, you may be firm. But to be firm, you first of all have to be empowered. So I just say we should also, because you see women, very many of them, they work in an office and then they are dating the boss. And then the man knows. Because of course and another thing that women, those of us that are listening today, go and ask yourself in the comfort of your room. If you are richer than your husband, how do you relate to the husband? These are conversations we should also have. Very many women. Most times you see a man that is richer than the wife, and oftentimes there is no problem in the marriage. But where the woman is richer than the man, oftentimes you have problem in the marriage. She now wants to love. So that is why you see some men, I am not justifying now, saying that no, she shouldn't be richer than me because eventually she then begins to lord over me and blah, 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 blah. A man will be in the house, is the one taking care of everything, there won't be a problem. He loses his job in a month, 2-3 months, the wife is fighting, the wife wants to leave. These are also conversations that we must not shy away from. So these are necessary conversations so that then we can have a balanced and a more robust interaction and conversation this night. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honestly speaking, I'm sorry I did what I did, but I have to. Even from when Madam Hope was talking, I was like, I wanted to run away. I'm looking for what to do because they have spoken well. They have spoken truly. And Barrister Tucker, when we were talking, I remember one thing I told you. I don't know if it's you I said this to or Emmanuel. One thing I said is that I think the society has not got it right. I don't know, I can't remember who I said this to. I think the society has not got it right because they take one from this and give to this. We are talking, people say to me, Nosenja, you're a feminist. I said, yes, I am. Well, I want to say that I will rather, because I don't deny. If you want to say you're this, I say yes. You're this, I say yes. Because one thing the society does well is to give you a bad name and nail you. So if you give me a bad name, I answer. What I'm trying to say, I was speaking to, I think it's Barrister Tokbe. I said, the world is crying, women are suffering, then they are taken from the men and given to the women. Then next, men will start crying. They will not take from the women. That the society has not balanced it yet. And what I'm trying to say, I remember saying this is, for example, we have Women Affairs, Ministry of Women Affairs. Why do we not have Ministry of Men Affairs? Oh, Nurse Angel, you're a feminist. Absolutely, I'm a woman. I want every woman to be happy, get equitable treatment like their counterpart. 100%, I accept and I take it for life. However, I want to say that I stand more for the vulnerable than I stand for any gender. If the men are suffering more, I stand with you. If the children are suffering more, I stand with the child. If it's the woman that is suffering more, I stand with you. I go to those that are vulnerable, those that are abused, those that are disadvantaged. I stand with you. So if you want to call me anything you want to call me, I answer. Because you will not intimidate me into denying to support the abused or those that are disadvantaged. I hear you guys. It's heartbreaking. I know, Barrister, when you spoke the first time, you said it boils down to the woman. I sat up to agree with you, because I've always said the issue of the woman is the woman. But when you started talking about finances and everything, I'm thinking, no, it's not just the woman per se, the society. But I get you. I agreed to some certain extent. When Madam Hope started talking, I wanted to faint. I nearly fainted. I was holding myself. She's dishing out. A woman was walking. They stopped her from walking. I'm like, oh, I wanted to jump. And this was happening. Do you know that? Are you telling me this to clap for the woman, or to clap or to shame the man? I now remembered what Barrister Temi said, Dr. B said, which I was like, how? It boils down to the woman. However, I want to differ a bit to say it boils down to tradition, religion, culture, society, family, man, woman, government. It boils down to everything, the environment. I am sad. I'm sad because all this we are saying, you will see people. Barrister, we spoke about white and black. We spoke about colonization and slavery. I feel sad because during the colonial days or the slave period, the blacks were crying. Both men and women were crying. I'm human. They were doing a lot of things to them because the colonial master had the wherewithal. They have the resources, the capital, and the military might to deal with the slave as they wished, irrespective of. When the slaves were crying, the colonial masters go to the court when they were trying to stop it. The Lord God said, were justified. They did not understand why people are crying. Why are the slaves crying? After all, we did you a favor by bringing you out from that forest. We did you a favor by bringing you out from the forest. Therefore, take anything we give to you. And because the power is not equal, they have the gun, they have everything, so you have to take it. But the slaves were crying. They were crying. We are human. That you have the military might more than me does not mean you should devalue me. Don't dehumanize me. I'm human, no matter the color and what have you. Right now, I'm happy to say there is nothing like slavery, at least. Nothing like legal slaves. And there is nothing like colonialism. At least they have stopped it legally. Nonetheless, whilst both the black race, Asians and what have you, that we are enslaved, cried. They cried. They wept that they are human beings. They have equal rights. The same blood is flowing, no matter the color, no matter the race, no matter the language. We are human beings. Right now, some people are coming to justify that because we are men or because we have the financial power, we should deal with you however we wish. And they say, keep quiet. After all, the Lord God said, the Lord God said, the Lord God said. You hear the same thing. That is why when I say the Bible, I want to keep it aside. Because that is the same Bible the slave masters used to justify slavery. The Lord God said, if you have a slave, do this to them, do that to them. That's the same Bible. They are not telling me the Lord God said, man should. When the woman, just like the black race, are crying, we are human. We are human. Treat us as same. They say, shut up. I'm sad. However, I love what you guys have said because you're looking at human rights. If you look, as I said, tradition, religion, culture, society, family, government, every institution have got it wrong. That is why we are suffering, both men and women, like our brother and sister. Our brothers and sisters, right? Our brothers and sisters rightly said. They are crying. Society will justify. Take this from this, give this to this, remove this from this, do this to this, forgetting that what is good for the geese is good for the gander. I'm human.
Can I ask you a question, Nurse Angel?
I wanted to ask Emmanuel a question, but go on.
Just a quick one, sorry. I just want you to, okay, I want to ask our family, all these things we are discussing, even though we have discussed most of these things before now, we have treated it in detail. It's just that Barrister has not been part of this conversation. It has been coming in different forms. We've talked about the male, the man, the woman, the girl child, the male child, their training and everything. But the question I will put to us now is this. All these things that are being done, the generations, are they still the same generation that is still existing now? How come that those people who made those laws are no more living, yet we are still upholding it? I will always throw it back to us. Are we still going to hold this? Is this still benefiting us? That's the question.
Thank you. I was speaking to a friend of mine today, a lovely guy. And was the question I asked? Sometimes people justify things that they benefit from. If something is beneficial to you, just like when these slave people were crying, the people that we are benefiting, we are like, why they cry? Why they cry? Why they cry? What do you want? These people are wild. These people are asking for too much. Sometimes when it benefits you, you're insensitive to the other person's cry. I was speaking to a lovely gentleman today, and we are here in UK. They left Nigeria. We left Nigeria because we feel the society is not conducive, inequality, lack of opportunity, sufferings and struggles. So we came here to tap from the good economy, to tap from the human opportunity, that the people are not the best, but they've seen that all these laws they made of old is not good enough. So they are changing it to serve humanity. They are even giving children rights, women rights, everyone have rights, men have rights. But some of our own brothers that left Nigeria and came here are asking, don't you know your culture? That was what they were asking me. I'm like, is it not the same culture you left to come here to enjoy the benefits? I said, by the way, what culture are you reminding me of? The culture that says a man can marry 10 wives. And I said to him, is it not that same? I said, how many wives do you have? He said, one. I said, don't you remember the same culture? Who made that culture? For whom was the culture made? And I asked him as well, is the people that made this culture not dead? Do you know the reason as to why they made the culture? Why should I, Nurse Angel, be made to follow culture made by people of old that is not beneficial to me as an individual, and they are now dead, and the time of the making of the culture and this time is not the same thing? Emmanuel, I will allow you to finish up tonight because we'll have to come back again. I'm sad, Emmanuel, but I hear you. And you guys here, Barrister and Emmanuel, you are wonderful men. I'm shocked. When I use the term decent, I know why I'm saying that. I've spoken to a lot of people. I know how they justify even those people that are here benefiting from the culture that allowed them to get to the top. And they will tell you, they will pride. They will say, I can go to Nigeria and pack all the women here. They will all fall to my head and legs, and it's true, Emmanuel. They are saying the truth. Here, they are not like allowed to marry two wives because they feel there is dignity in, they have their own reasons. But they will not say, what a rubbish culture. I hate that culture. I hate this culture. If you go to Nigeria, you will pack all the women you come back with your money. And it's true. And they will also say to you, the women like it, they even struggle to have you. And it's true, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, just like our brother and our sister, Tope and Madam Hope said, that it boils down to human rights. Do you think, Emmanuel, that because the government or the tradition or the people have denied women or certain men, I must say, because if you look at Nigeria economy, there are certain people that have billions and the other people are suffering, begging you for things to eat. Give me something. And these are men as well, not just women. You will see people, the government, a select few. Here in UK, the government look after the citizenry. If you don't have a job, they give you unemployment allowance. They give you money equal to depending on if you have a lot of children, they give you more to look after your children, give you house, give you a lot of things, and they will now help you to get a job. Government look after the citizens here. But if you go to Nigeria, it's those select few that take Nigerian money Then you now go to them, they will give you small. You say, thank you, sir. You start worshiping somebody for giving you your own money that you deserve. Emmanuel, do you think that the impoverishment of Nigerian citizenry, including men and women, by selected few in the government, is intended to keep us where we are in order to continue to satisfy their selfish desire. For example, these top few men have all the resources and they can now take every woman they want, including young girls of 18, 19, 20. Because,
thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Before I go to the issue of the political behavior, I've been smiling, your emotion. I've also been smiling, our sister, our co-speaker, sister. You see, I want to talk briefly on the issue of the man and the woman thing. Then I will relate it also to the issue of the political behavior. The one who has power always tends to want to retain his power. Just like the way the man is afraid and doesn't want to lose his power, his control to the woman. It is the same way too, the same feeling that the woman who is already in the house as a wife is afraid to lose her spot to another woman. She wants to protect it also by every means necessary, whether she's good or she's bad. Also, in a religion where you see the man having more than a wife that permits more than one wife, the Islam and the traditional religion, that my husband has the permission to get a second wife, but inside of her, let me not generalize it, it's not 100%, but I'm certain 90% even of Muslim women do not want their husband to get another wife. Why? She doesn't want to lose that control. I'm from a mixed family of both religion, of Christian. You see my name, Emmanuel Musa. My middle name presently I use as Alice, actually Aliyu. I was using Aliyu Musa through my primary education to my JS3. That's my JS3 exam, and my dad called me and was like, don't you think we should change this name? This name is sounding too Muslim and too Hausa name of Hausa origin. I had to change the Aliyu to Alice Musa instead of Ali Musa Aliyu. Now, in my family, I have two of such cases. That's from my mother's end. They're predominantly Muslims. And the two boys that are directly from her own mother is an extended family, a very wonderful extended family. And meanwhile, other people will tell you extended are no, this one so it happens to be very different. So the two senior men in that family, their wives have refused them to take a second wife, which resulted in a lot of argument, bro, and all that. But somehow we're able to settle it. He's decided to stay with the one wife, just like that. The second man said, no, not possible. My father had 4 wives. I'm a Muslim. You can't stop me. So that one on his own is just like, I don't know, was it in Arrow of God or whatsoever that we talked about Obika? Is the type of Obika that when anything he says, if you like advising from now to tomorrow, he doesn't take it. So this is normal because humans. We are naturally selfish. So it takes self-control, it takes selflessness for us to keep that selfish part of us sometimes and consider the other person. Now, I also have a situation. In short, presently, where I live around me, a woman left the husband not because she sued for divorce or the man sued for divorce, not because she she said, I am divorcing you. She just felt she's not getting the life she wants with this man. And this man sacrificed everything. Everything. If you call her, you answer as in, she's just said, truthfully, anything I want, he gives to me. But she has, how do I put it? She has that high degree of self-esteem she wants to achieve. That objective, that hunger, that target. And she felt, this man is not giving it to me. Even in this man's house, even in the house of this man, she would leave and meet other men, sleep in shop, travel, leave the children, and she's just doing what she wants. Okay, now today she has left the house. Somehow, through men, that's what we call when we talk about the financial insecurity in the part of the women. So, but she was able to get this money through other men, bought her own house, lives in her house, and now she has gotten a car. She does that is just what she wants to live, free life. The children will go to her place, she will come to the husband sometimes, they will stay. You know? Now, to our politics. Okay, let me conclude on it. So the issue where I was saying is, it's not just men. If women had the opportunity to, if they had the control, I bet you, if you doubt me, take your time, go into the streets, check people, do your investigation. Women, we have this thing you complain that men are doing to women. I'm telling you, women will do it more, far more, because the very few experiences, the very few examples that are available will tell you, for women who have maybe more power, maybe financially, or contact, connection, education, and all that. But give and take. I believe today in Nigeria, there's nobody that stops anybody from being educated. It's not common. It's not common. Relatively, like in the sciences, we say it's negligible. If you look at the percentage of women that are not allowed to, communities that don't allow their women to be well educated now, is negligible. Except maybe financial constraint makes the woman not do. Now, in our politics, I've watched Nigeria very well. Nigeria is funny. And it's not just Nigeria. I think in Africa. I always tell people, look at Africa and say, what is wrong with Africa? Is it just Nigeria? You discover that there are very little different from that country in Africa. You think it's better than Nigeria. When you visit, you see that the difference is minute. It's the same. Now, look at some countries. You said, these countries, they were better, they were advanced, they were competing with you, and so things, where are they? Even the ones that we think they are doing well now, I'm telling you, it's not a bad wish, it's not a sorcery, it's not that. Give them 10, 20 years, you see, they'll go back worse than what you think they are today. Somebody somewhere will just come. A selfish politician, according to Professor Mulumba, will say, you vote for clowns. That you think when you vote for clowns, and you think they are coming to make it better, because you have voted for clowns, they will turn the nation, they will turn the situation into a circus. And we just revolve around them.
All right.
And now this is what we do.
So I think it's 2 hours now. We need to go. Can I ask you to keep the rest for next week? This topic we will continue with it. Save the next for next week, please, because it's time to go. Please, I have to say this. You can mute. Let us dance. Thank you guys for having spoken. Family, let us dance and be happy. I'm happy again. Please let us dance. Oh, wait. I think our speaker is off. Fantastic. Let me see. So fantastic. Let's dance.
Visit irocking.com for more Nigerian music anytime, anywhere.
Oh dear.
No time, no back today. Night, go today. That no time, that's when me and say the guy and Tori. The thing when they vex me, now the same thing when they vex me. For this world, the good, they die, and For the bad, I think they survive. See, I don't try, make I ask for the right. It can't be like, see, I dey waste my time. Oh yeah, everybody make una dey jolly, yeah. Make una throw una hands in the air. If you want to put it in the wrong way, we don't think some people go scatter your brain. Now this thing where they make me go away, go away. This thing where they make me go away, go away. I say that this thing where they make me go away, go away, go away. This thing where they make me go away, go away. This thing they make me go away. Better thing, not the last year. If you dey hear me, not up here. Believe me, that not too for here. But I, everybody know time. See our name na the bracket here. Before we do dance so happy day, but now we don't come on we yoli. I say everybody make una jolly, yeah. Make una throw una hands in the air. If you want to put make you come go there, 'cause not some people go follow your brain. And this thing where they make me go away, go away, go away. This thing where they make me go away, go away. I say that this thing where they make me go away, go away, go away. This thing where they make me go away, go away. Una see, as Peter and Paul and Bracket, they don't they go. I remember what we do, if they do last night, then they don't go. Them say, we know sabi sing here. Some say, na only girls with the dance here. We can't bring back busy body here. Temptation, they say, na copy here, na copy here. I go back again, we bring good meat and quality there. With a good video, what they we make here. Now this thing where they make me go away, go away, go away. This thing where they make me go away, go away. I see that this thing where they make me go away, go away, go away. This thing where they make me go away, go away. Yeah. Everybody, no time, not the last year, no time, not the last year. I'm back today, Peter and Paul and don't know it. If you do, if you don't get the make una throw una hands in the air. If you want to put you make you go there. We don't kill some people, we take you over there. And this thing where they make me go away, go away, go away. This thing where they make me go away, go away.
Hey, yes. All right, so family, we need to go. It's now over 2 hours. We started this talk show. We'll come back again for Side Chick versus Side Cock Part 2. Thank you, speakers. Thank you, Barrister Tokbe. Thank you, Madam Hope. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, family members. I love you guys. You know, you are the best. In our mind, is always in my mind. Remember, your destiny is definitely in your hands, and so is mine. Bye-bye. See you next week, Sunday, for a part 2 of the Stock Show.